Hey everybody, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. So today we are going, wait, I said tutorial, really weird. It's a tutorial, not a tutorial. Today we're going to be drawing Darth Maul from Star Wars, okay? Portrait of him, close up on his face, some of his shoulders, no lightsaber or anything. Couldn't find a way to fit it in that didn't look weird. So I might do another one with a lightsaber in the future, who knows. Anyway, landscape orientation page, right? Use a pencil. I do it on quite a big page, but if you're using a pencil, you don't need to. I do it big just because the Sharpie puts down a big line and big for the camera. So if you're using a pencil and eraser, which I recommend, you could do it on an A4 page, A3 page, whatever size you have to hand. I just do them landscape so I can fit in the shoulders. Okay. Center point of my page is about here. Move up a little bit, over to the right, start with his eyes, okay? So we'll go diagonal, up and across, like so. We'll bring it down the back, down here a little bit. And then we'll go back in this way. Now, if you want, you have a choice. You can bring that across the bottom. I don't like to, for some reason, when I'm doing sort of not anime characters, right? I just like to leave it like that, and like maybe a little hook like here as well. It's just a personal preference. You don't have to, you can join them if you want. I think it looks better this way. So then his iris comes down around and up to there, and then his pupil, half circle just here. Like so. Right, so Darth Maul, he is frowning pretty heavily, right? He doesn't really have eyebrows, but we'll give him this heavy frown that sort of comes across his eye, right? Just like a line, like a tick, just goes that way. And then you can give him an eyelid line that comes out from there, like so. And then some extra sort of lines just around his eye here. Right, so he does have all tattoos around his eye as well, but we'll just add some texture lines and then do the tattoos after. So his frown line might go a bit further up that way. So width of his eye, that measurement will fit in between both of his eyes, and that's where the next eye will start, right? So it'll start like here, okay? So you want to be able to fit a full eye in between his two eyes, here to here. And then we'll bring this up and over again. So it can be a curved line or it can be a straight line. You know, it's up to you. And you want them to be fairly level with one another. Not 100%, you know, necessary, because some people have eyes bigger than the other. We bring this down. So, and then hook that in there. And then his iris. So he's red and yellow eyes as well. So just if you're coloring, yellow on the inside and red on the outside. So then we'll give him big frown again. So sort of like ticks down, touches his eyelid and goes like back this way. It's not really an eyebrow or anything. It's just like sort of just a frown line. And then his eyelid line comes across. And we can give him some extra sort of lines on the inside of his eye here. Like so. Right, so because he's frowning, we'll give him like some extra sort of lumps and bumps sort of coming across his brow. Some like nose lines coming down that way. And for his nose, so his nose is sort of defined by this kind of dark black section, right? You can't really see his nostrils. Well, you can see the edge of his nostrils. So I guess we'll come down and we'll just do this, right? So we'll come down and we'll do this sort of V that's down the bottom of his nose here. Okay. And then this will come out to nostrils around the side here. Pretty much the same on this side. Right, so something like that. Doesn't have to be even or anything. And then like the tip of his nose is like here. You can see like the round sort of part of his nose. It's mostly black, so you can barely make it out. So he's got like just a round sort of circle here. And maybe some bridge of his nose maybe coming down the side, but not much. And then this sort of black tattoo-like area comes down across the front. And back up around here. And again, he can have some sort of lines coming down the side of his nose. Like so. Not much though. And that's all like colored black anyway, so you mightn't see most of that nose. So then his mouth, up, down in the middle, back up, and back down the other side. Like so. And then maybe like a top lip line. And then a bottom lip line comes across here. Like so. And then his chin all the way down here, quite a square chin. Comes across like so. So he looks kind of like a normal dude at the minute, but when we add all those sort of face tattoos and stuff, he won't look normal. So the edge of his mouth sort of ends just underneath his eye. Just see there? Just if you're wondering about proportion. And then eyes to nose is about the same as nose to chin, approximately, here to here. His pupil is about the same as bottom of his nose to his chin. And then bottom of his nose to his bottom lip line is about the same as bottom lip line to chin. So the bottom lip line is halfway between the bottom of his nose and his chin. And the bottom of his nose is halfway between his pupil and his chin, right? Approximately. Okay, that's the kind of proportions you're dealing with. So we'll do his jaw then. Up the side. Stop about mouth level. Right, just there. And that's where you change direction, you go up the side of his face. So we'll go up, right, start to curve up this way for his jaw. Right, and Darth Maul seems to have like just, I don't know, like a piece that juts out just here on the side of his face beside his ear. So like curves out big here. Okay, same on this side. It tends to, that's his jaw, yeah, it kind of curves out here. Like so, and then we have a horn that sticks out just here beside his ear. The line's sort of sticking out here. Texture lines on it. So I think I'm just going to make that line a bit thinner. I put down too much ink. Okay, so then we can see his ears just in around these horns. So they're kind of crinkly sort of ears. Comes down like so, around. So it lines up with his sort of eyebrows at the top. And then the earlobe lines up kind of with the bottom of his nose, right? And then we got like bones and ligaments on the inside of that. So the easiest way I always say is a letter J. But if you want to make it more complicated, you can add more lines, stuff on the inside. Like so, right? Come over and do the same thing on the other side. Add a sort of a bumpy, crinkly sort of ear. Down like so. And then ear lines, add more detail if you'd like. Like so. Right, now we'll do the big round of his head and then we'll start adding all those tattoos and stuff. So in general, how high up do you want to go? So eyes to the top of his head is about the same as eyes to chin, right? The eyes generally are halfway down the head, especially in characters who's bald. You know, characters who don't have hair, so we don't have to worry about, you know, hair on top of the head. So eyes to chin, whatever that is, you want to come up at least that distance again. So the top of the head will be like up here. Okay. And then you can bring that down to this horn here. So it comes in to there. So that's your center line. And then I'll try and keep it even on both sides. Try our best anyway. All right. Like so. So at the minute, it just looks like a bald dude with a clown nose and horns coming out the side of his head. So, not bad. Even enough for me anyway. Okay. Now, so then we have this sort of halo of horns and then all the tattoos on his face. So we've got, say, like one in the middle. We'll start in the middle. So it's always the best place to start, really. So we've got like one sticking up here. Like so. And it's got sort of like texture lines on it and some skin like growing, like it's coming out of his head. So we've got like skin lines and stuff. Just there. Right, and then another one here. It sticks off the side of his head. And if you go over any of his headlines like this, you can erase them. I'll erase them now in a second. Again, we've got like some lines coming around just to show that it's growing out of his skin. Just there. And then, so this, we've another one sort of sticking out side of his head here. This one's like at the back of his head. More sort of texture lines there. Then another one over here. So it comes out across. Texture lines. And then just to show that it's coming out of his flesh. It's not just sitting on his head. And then another one here. Like that, and then one like right on the top of his head. Okay, so right, those tattoos. So we got like diamonds coming down the middle, so we'll add those. Well, they're probably not tattoos, actually. They're probably like his skin, because he is an alien. So, right, so a line coming down here, and then we meet like a line straight across, straight down, another diamond, straight down, another diamond, like so. And then we have all these lines coming around his head. So coming from the frown, so it comes up, out like this, and then this goes up like here, up to there. So you're kind of changing direction a good bit now here. Up like this. And then this will go down, across, up to there. And then it goes around the horn and comes back down the other side of it, like so. And then we go back around the other side. So we're like tracing this sort of line again. Like so. And then this will go up. Like this, and this goes around his eye somewhere, like here. Then bumps around his eye, and then comes up around this horn, and up around the side of his head this way. Like that. And then, so this comes back in here and down his cheek. So quite complicated, but hit pause whenever I do a section, right? And so these are all black, right? And then this part of his eye comes back across his cheek. Like this. And this comes across towards his nose, back up, in towards the corner of his nostril, sort of here, and then back out and down. Like so. And then this comes down like that, around his top lip, down to his top lip, and it kind of goes over this area, back up the other side. So it's pretty much the same on this side of his face as it is on this, right? So once you get like one side of his face done, you pretty much just copy it over to the other side. So like we'll do, he's got like a snake tongue coming out of his mouth down here. Curve line coming out there, right? So that's like one side of his face. So we'll just do this over here. So and down towards his eye. Trying to copy the other side as best we can. Right, and this comes back around his eye then as well. Up past his frown here. And then this goes up around this sort of horn. Around the side of his head there. And then we keep going. Like so, and then this joins his mouth there. And then we have the part that comes down from his eye, so like here. And there. This comes down. And then we have a bit that comes out from his nose. This like comes down to his cheek somewhere, so that's a dark black line. Comes up to here, into there, and then this comes down, up, and around to there. And then we have a line up the middle, and it goes around horn in the middle, goes right up nearly to the top of his head, comes back down. Right, now just erase those lines. Oh, and there's some lines down here as well. Like so. Okay, so that's pretty much his face, right? So we'll add his neck and shoulders now. So just coming down from his jaw, sort of has a wide enough sort of neck right here. Down like so. And then we have a sort of a cloth part coming down like this, comes down the middle, same on this side, like so, right? And then we got some like neck muscles inside here, maybe like some of his chest there, neck muscle here, and like Adam's apple, like so. Right, and then so we've more sort of fabric and cloth and stuff coming around, right? So 2 lines. So this will come down here, and then the opposite side of it comes down like so, and then this will come out down to there, a line there, and then right, lines like so, just an edge line just on this sort of collar of his, and then another edge line coming down there. And then this comes down pretty straight that way, comes around the back of his head here, like so. And then his shoulder will come out. So like shoulder, I always say like head width, approximately, right? He's got like fluffy sort of shoulder pads on, but like in general, if you go out head width, that's where you'll find sort of usually the shoulder will be. So this is like his waistcoat sort of thing. Comes out like so. So that's about head width, right, to there. And then his sort of puffy sleeve starts here. So he's got just like this sort of sleeve that has lines on it. Right, so how far? He's got quite wide shoulders, but in general, a head width brings you out to sort of there. But his clothing can be quite puffy, so it probably goes out a little bit further. But a head width is a good measurement, I always find. Like so. Okay. But might add just a little bit of a shadow just underneath his chin, just thicken this up. But that's it. That is how to draw Darth Maul. I think that's everything anyway. From Star Wars. Hope it was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.